Now all the equipment, the ammunition, and everything falling. You. Your mother. Come on back.
After having a pint in Las Vegas, most people will explore the Strip or see Piff the Magic Dragon, but I am not most people. No, I had a lovely conversation with a loud and proud Trump preacher called Mark. Evidently, Mark is a Vietnam veteran and a retired volunteer firefighter. He preaches in Las Vegas most nights, and while he isn't the best at arguing pro-Trump views, he is a great example of a passionate Trump supporter and, as far as I could tell, a likeable man. That said, he has some pretty wild things to say, so buckle up.
Well, thank you very much for making the time. I really appreciate it. First of all, what's your name?
Mark.
Mark. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mark. I'm Steve. We're right here in Las Vegas, Thursday night, 10 p.m, and you've decided to come here with all of these signs. Would you mind telling us why you're here, what you're trying to achieve?
Well, I'm trying to let everybody know what kind of an idiot they have for a president. As far as I'm concerned, he wasn't nominated to be president. He was installed like a toilet.
So was this that Trump won the election? Or
Yeah.
It is Trump who won the election?
No, he won.
Okay, so how confident are you that Trump won the election?
Oh, I know he won the election because they found millions of votes that were in his favor in different locations.
I remember reading the resources on this, and it's showing that that wasn't true. So, and here you are saying that it is true. How do you determine that it is true and that the fake news, if you will,
Well,
is...
CNN,
Yeah.
that's Clinton News Network.
So I think some Fox News has also reported.
No, Fox
Never.
News.
They've
never.
been consistent on Trump had millions of votes.
Yeah, well, they found them in a couple of locations.
Okay.
They found the votes.
But what locations did they find them?
One was in a storage unit. I think it was Arizona. And my son will tell you the name of the other state
Yeah.
where they found them in a closet. And at the polling booth.
So why do you think, assuming this is true, which of course I understand that you believe it is, why do you think they did this? Is it to just give
They're scared
power?
of Trump.
They're scared of Trump. What things are they scared of?
Well, first of all, he doesn't take any shit from anybody.
Right, yeah, that's true.
If you remember the president of Syria,
Yep.
he was gassing his own people, and Trump told him to stop. And he did it again.
Yeah.
And what did Trump do? He sent a missile to his tent
To his turn, we took him
and
out. Yep.
ended it.
I see. So,
That's why Russia backed off, and that's why China backed off.
do you think the same happened when Obama took out?
Well, what Obama did was he gave all our jobs to other countries.
Other countries. So you've had like a
China,
influx of Chinese
China,
people?
Russia, Japan.
Okay.
He gave it to everybody else.
So the story, per
fact.
your view, per the factual view that you see it, right? Or because obviously I'm of a different ilk, but the way that you see it is that you're living under a government that's illegitimate, and what they're doing is they're letting foreigners in to take your jobs. Is that correct?
They're not letting them in. They're sneaking across the border,
Okay.
and they're not doing nothing.
So what?
I was here down on Fremont Street one day last year, and I watched 2 busloads of illegals. They emptied them out right on Fremont Experience, and they scattered into the crowd, and they all had their pillowcases and onion bags with their personal belongings.
So where was this that you saw this?
Yeah,
In Las Vegas.
yeah, on 4th Street,
Yeah.
right by Walgreens.
Do you know where they came from?
The buses were unmarked.
So if you don't know where they came from, How do you know that they were all immigrants?
because that's how they were transporting them around the country.
So is this from other sources that you've read that they use
You
unmarked
saw
buses?
it. You saw it, which you
Yeah.
won't hide. They had it on the news.
So with these individuals, how did you know that they were not American citizens? Is it like
And
something
none
about
of them
them?
spoke English.
So you spoke with all of them?
No, I didn't speak to any of them. I heard them talking to one another
Right.
as they were running by.
So as they ran on by, you heard them all speak.
Yeah,
Could it,
mostly Spanish.
could it have been that they can speak Spanish? A lot of Americans can speak
No.
Spanish.
Definitely not Americans.
No. What if they just got off a tour or something?
If you've been here in America for a while,
Mm.
you speak English.
So what percentage of the US do you think's illegal immigrants at this point?
Oh, there's a couple million here now.
So if it was a couple million, I guess that would make up.
They could make 2.5, maybe 3 mil.
So that would be if the United States have 300 million people, and 3 million are immigrants. That's about 1%. Is that fair?
Close.
Yeah. So you're here, bring out the message that Trump sorts these people out, but Biden lets them in, right?
You see the second picture there?
Yep. The official portrait.
It's
of the
a-
46th
his
president
portrait,
of the United
right?
States. Yeah.
He turned his back on America.
I see. So you see this as more of a symbolism of Joe Biden telling you, I don't care about you American people. I'm turning around.
You know, I have another sign. I don't have it with me today, but I'll bring it out. And it's Joe Biden giving all the Americans what we call the bird,
Right, yep.
which is this.
Yep. She's giving the middle finger to
But-
all Americans.
When I did the sign, it says Joe Biden gave America the bird, and I had a picture of a turkey,
Mhm.
and I said not this one,
Right.
it was this one.
When Trump was in power, why didn't he build the wall?
He was building it.
He was building it,
Yeah.
So
There's only a few miles left.
is this part of why you think that the government has worked in such a way as to make sure Trump isn't in power, so that they can prevent that wall from being built?
Right, because they think that all those illegals are going to vote for Biden.
So the illegals that come across, they tend to be impoverished, right? They don't tend to have much money.
No, well, they get money from the government.
Right, so the government is spending its money,
Spending our money.
your money, your taxes, right? So that impoverished people can come across into your land at a percent of about 1% of the United States so far to take your jobs. Yeah? Okay. Well, to slightly pivot, with Trump, there seems to be almost a cult-like mentality that's following him. Do you see Trump as a religious figure at all?
He's Catholic.
He's Catholic.
Yeah.
Does that make him
Or
a religious figure?
Christian, but he's not an atheist.
No, he's not an atheist. He is a Catholic, as you said, right? Now, do you think he's a good Catholic to begin with?
Pardon?
Do you think he's a good Catholic?
I would venture to say so.
Yeah, so when he was with that star, was that Catholic behavior?
Pardon?
When he was with that star, was that Catholic
Now,
behavior?
if you watch the news about that,
Sure.
she wrote a letter and said that she did not have sexual intercourse with Donald Trump.
So since she's made it clear that she did, right?
Yes. Now she's claiming that she did.
Right. So you think now she's lying for money?
No,
for...
now she's lying. She's still lying.
Okay. So with Trump, this poor guy, he has been pushed out of being the president with illegal. Well, first of all, they stole his votes and they put him in a warehouse, right?
Right.
Then what happened is they've been letting in immigrants, 3 million of them over a span, and that's one of the reasons.
It's still coming in.
Still coming in, and they got this woman to viciously lie about him.
Oh, yeah.
So it sounds to me that you're painting a story of great oppression being put on the multi-billionaire Trump, right?
Well, it's the Democrats. They want nothing to do. They're just giving to everybody. Biden's gave beaucoup billions of dollars to the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now, Biden, his whole family, that whole clan, they got I don't know how many millions of dollars from Russia, from China, from the Ukraine. They were all giving them money.
Yeah, so in the essence of fighting for democracy and not having Russia
He's
come
a
in.
traitor.
So who Biden's traitor?
Biden's a traitor.
What, for backing a democratic institution in Ukraine, or is it that he
Just-
should have?
With Afghanistan,
Right.
he left American soldiers behind enemy lines.
Right.
What president does that?
So a lot of leaders, when they're in power, have to make.
Now, there's no
Decisions
decision to make. You do not leave military personnel behind enemy lines.
Is that ever?
Never.
So let me pose a scenario to you. Suppose that you had some veterans that are in enemy lines, and you knew that if you were to leave them behind, there was a 95% rate.
They left them in Vietnam, but the people, our guys were going back and retrieving them.
Sure.
And if they couldn't get them, they retrieved their remains.
So does that mean that in principle you could leave people behind as long as it's justified?
Well, they were already in concentration camp or
Yeah.
prison camp,
Yeah.
and they were locked up in the jungle somewhere.
And Biden was responsible
Yeah,
for this.
and they had to find out where they were in the jungle.
So during that time, did Biden have power?
Biden, back in the 70s, was one of the congressmen or a senator who was arrested for molesting the pages at the Capitol.
So he didn't.
There were a
Let's
bunch of senators that were molesting the pages
So I mean,
sexually.
sexually.
Yeah.
So then what? So sorry, I don't understand. So you've got these veterans that are behind the line and they're in enemy territory. Meanwhile, Biden is sexually molesting papers,
Children. Yeah.
children. So how did Biden molesting children make those men stay behind?
No, it
This is an
didn't
extra
have
thing.
nothing to do with that.
Oh, so he didn't do that.
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
but what he did in Afghanistan by leaving the soldiers behind,
Right.
you don't do that. Now all the equipment, the ammunition, and everything, all that. You, your mother. Come on back.
You're doing an interview, stop it. You're doing an interview, stop it. You got
Looking jerk.
So what just happened there is someone came
Sorry
by and
about-
said, the police, right?
Yeah.
And that's angered you because, you, the police
Hey,
took it off.
I support
right?
the police.
So the gentleman that came by was,
That's not a gentleman.
well, in America, the whole Black Lives Matter is arguing that the police are being discriminatory.
Well, if they didn't break the law, they wouldn't have that kind of attitude towards the police.
Well, this guy didn't necessarily break the law, and you can't just
Do you
assume-
know that?
No, but just as...
I don't either.
Well, I want to challenge you on that man being a gentleman, right? So you're here and you're expressing your view with these billboards in front of all of these people. Why isn't he allowed to express his thoughts to you, even if you disagree with him?
Well, you don't hear me using the F word about any of this.
No, but you have accused Joe Biden of being a pedophile, which to a lot of
Well,
people
that's
is very
no,
unfair.
that's a fact.
So he could argue that him saying
He
"Fuck the
could
police."
argue till he's blue in the face.
I see.
It's not going to change. You know, when people throw that in my face and say Black Lives Matter, Black lives don't matter. All lives matter.
So, okay, so I wonder what you think to this. So, suicide. What happens in suicide is that males commit suicide significantly at higher numbers than females, right? So imagine if I wanted to make a campaign to help men from not committing suicide, and I said, men's lives matter. And then I go around, and what I'm trying to tell people is that, look, men's lives matter, we need to take male suicide seriously. If someone was to respond to me saying, no, men's lives don't matter, all lives matter, wouldn't that be kind of missing the point of what I'm trying to express? Almost tone deaf, if you will.
Well, that's being sort of prejudiced just to the one, men matter.
Yeah.
Forget about women.
Well, you would say that.
No.
Right.
But that's what it's.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's like the argument would be that it's tone deaf to not kind of listen to what's being expressed. No one really means Black Lives Matter and whites don't. What they're saying is Black Lives Matter, and so America, the greatest country that's ever existed, needs to show that, right? It needs to demonstrate that. It needs to redistribute wealth. It needs to provide opportunities and realize that a lot of where people get in life hasn't to do with skill and to do with talent. It's actually got more to do with simply what you're given in life. Did you fall out of the right vagina, right?
You know, I'm 81 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I still get in physical fistfights with people.
Right.
Because I don't give a shit. I pushed that I don't give a shit button a long time ago.
Right.
In Vietnam.
Yep. Well, you know what? I love the audacity. I love you coming here. I hope you feel like this is an audience that you reach. Do you feel like Las Vegas is a good place for it?
You're welcome. They just thank me because they like what I do.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So do you get more love here or more hate?
There's more love here than there is hate.
It's good, man. Well, there's someone that very much seems to disagree with you on.
I had one woman earlier tonight. She said, "Oh, it's disgrace what you're doing to Biden."
Yeah.
I said, "You sound like a person who voted for him." She said, "I did." I said, "Good, you owe me gas money."
So when you say...
So everybody started laughing,
Yeah.
and she got pissed off and left.
Right, yeah. So when you say that people are treating Trump bad, and I say good, he deserves it, he's a bad person.
If he was bad,
That's it. You just
I'd jump
disagree
on
about
a
the
train.
premise, right? But you think he's a good guy.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, I don't want to take too much of your time. I've really appreciated this interview. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and just all the best to you, all right?
There's one sign. And
Yeah.
Mike, get that other sign out of the people he left behind. You'll see this one.
Wait, good night.
Open it up and show.
What we got? So, President Biden lied, left over 2,500 Americans behind. USA is not supposed to leave anyone behind, which is what you were saying earlier on, right?
That's it.
All right. Well, listen, we could go back and forth
And
forever.
the picture speaks for itself.
Yeah, it is a picture. I'll give you that. Well, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. You take care, all right? Bye-bye.